The countdown is on for one of my favorite times of the year, Home Team Harvest. It's King 5's annual food drive for our community partner, Northwest Harvest. Now, in addition to donating food or money to this important cause, this year we'd like you to consider donating your time. My friend Thomas Reynolds is here from Northwest Harvest. It is so good to see you again.
Good to see you. Great to be here.
I have been lucky enough to volunteer down at the Soto Market. It's such a rewarding experience. Many of my King 5 team members have regularly done it as well, and I'm so proud of them. It is one of the most rewarding things I think someone can do, right?
I totally agree with you. I think volunteerism is meaningful. I think it's fun, and you're giving back to the community.
Yeah.
I think it really makes a difference in people's lives to volunteer.
I had no idea, for example, like you just told me today, that you started your work in this after volunteering.
That's so true. I had gone down to San Francisco to spend a week working on homelessness issues, working in a soup kitchen, and I was ready to go to law school and become a lawyer. I said, no, this is the work that I want to do, and I've done it for the rest of my life since then.
That's incredible, yeah. And you've done such incredible work. You're such an inspiration to all of us, truly. But getting enough volunteers, I understand, has been an issue lately. Why is that?
That's been really tough. I mean, really since the pandemic, people sort of changed behaviors. And what I hear, I don't have an exact number, but I hear from enough food banks that I think we're down maybe 70 and 80% of volunteerism from several years ago. We've got to refill the tank, if you will, of people who are volunteering.
Because a key part of keeping this consistent, right, and all this is volunteers.
It's so helpful to have people who come once a week, once a month, maybe a couple times a month or a couple times a year. That is a lifeblood for food banks across the state of Washington.
And I met a lot of those volunteers who come all the time. They're just, they're like the bosses in there. They're like, you do this, you stack this, and and it's fascinating, it's fun. And there are so many different jobs that you can do. If you don't want to maybe be handing out the food, or you're not a people person, you don't have to be a people person to do it. You can be in the back stocking, which is what I did sometimes, right?
Yeah, that's totally true. Like at the Soto Community Market the Northwest Harvest runs, you could be the one who's like receiving the donations in the back of the store.
Right.
You could be stacking things, storing things, prepping them to go out, or you could be a greeter, or you could be one of the cashiers who helping people bag up their groceries as they head out.
I know some important volunteers are stepping up this weekend. This is really exciting. Tell me about this service Saturday involving a day of service, which is happening on Saturday. It involves some of the Seahawks.
Yeah, this is back to action. At a number of food banks around the Puget Sound-area, former Seahawks players will be helping out the food banks, doing some volunteer work. I think I'm going to be with Doug Baldwin at the Light Center Food Bank. Really looking forward to this day, really to promote more volunteerism here in the Puget Sound-area.
How can people sign up?
People can go to the website. You can go to northwestharvest.org. There's Safeway's involved. The Seahawks are involved. Vault 89. You can go to Back to Action. You can research that on Google and see it for yourself.
I think that's great. I mean, there are so many things. I learned so much. As a matter of fact, I learned about certain organizations and companies that actually donate their food. I didn't realize Starbucks donated so much of their food every day to the food bank as well, and it made me proud to work with them and to go get my coffee there. So thank you so much, Thomas.
Thank you.
And once again, Back to Action Day of Service featuring members of the Seahawks is this Saturday, September 23rd at various food banks and hunger relief organizations throughout the state. Another thing I learned is how so many farms from around the state are helping by donating food as well. So it really makes you realize how this is a statewide effort.